answered. I just wanted to say thank you for coming here. I know it's arduous to get into Washington, but it is important for us to hear from you, for us to be able to make good policy. We have to hear from people who are on the front lines every day, who are experiencing this, trying to keep up with the regulations, paying the expenses that you've talked about today in terms of keeping up with all this code. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time to come sit here before us, because we need to see from people who are out there on the front line every day for us to make good decisions. So we appreciate you being here. I yield back.
Ms. Dahlkemper.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I apologize for coming in late. I had another hearing, but I just want to thank you also, and I don't have any further questions at this point, so I appreciate your testimony today and appreciate you coming in front of us. I yield back.
Okay, so I do have a question. We all support your concern and regarding the state tax, but we have a lot of competing interests right now, and one of them is facing rising deficits and the impact this could have on our economy in the future. Estimates state that repeal will cost $1 trillion over 10 years. So if there is an exemption amount, a magic number that will protect small businesses while taking into consideration fiscal constraint, what will that number be? Mr. Spoa.
You talk the exemption or the tax rate?
The exemption.
Exemption. Problem with setting a set figure with exemption is that it may work very well today, this year, next year. 5 to 10 years down the road, that number would mean nothing anymore. So I don't know if you really can set a
so let me ask you this question then. There are a broad array of state tax proposals right now, and one proposal is to make the 2009 levels of 3.5 million permanent. Would this provide, in the case of Mr. O, farmers with the certainty they need and the necessary protection? If not, what would be an acceptable threshold for family farms?
It would provide the certainty. Certainly, the higher the exemption level, the more people that will be employed, the better it will be for our economy. The current level of $3.5 million is insufficient for a meaningful number of the members, not only our association but the industry, those who produce the most beef. I'm not prepared to tell you a number, but I can tell you the higher the number, the better for our industry and the better for our economy.
Okay. Any other member of the panel would like to comment?
You know, Madam Chairwoman, I'd love to be really optimistic and say how important it is that it is totally repealed and we have a permanent repeal so that we can then permanently decide what to do with our businesses in terms of
the problem is we don't live in a perfect world.
I know. Right? But I would point to, you know, some of the studies that have come out that have said that the economy would average as much as $11 billion a year in extra output. I mean, let's look at some of those. I just think that to protect small business, Mr. Old has made two good points. One, we need to have something permanent. And two, the higher the amount, the better. But I'll keep my rose-colored glasses on and stick to total permanent repeal.
Okay. Ms. Mays?
Well, just $5 million would help approximately 80% of the printing companies that would be relieved of this burden in today's dollar and cents. But just something permanent so that we could plan would be great, because the most important thing is I have 51 families that I have to worry about, not just my own. It's more important to worry about those 51 families and their longevity and their livelihoods.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and we will continue to listen and discuss this issue that I know is important for small businesses in America, especially at a time when small businesses are struggling. Thank you all for being here today. I ask unanimous consent that members will have 5 days to submit a statement and supporting materials for the record. Without objection, so ordered. This hearing is now adjourned.